Nobody would want to sleep 7 months out of the year. We all would feel like somewhat life would pass us by, and there are things to be done here, no? Imagine for a moment that your career or most passionate daily undertaking simply went away for half of a year. This is how I and other athletes felt in certain periods of 2020. Spring break came, and with it, the dangers of a pandemic. However, things are returning somewhat, which is something to be celebrated. The fact that the activity I love most is back in my daily life is what I can celebrate now, since we're back on campus and training with our soccer team again. The last 15 years of my life have been involved with soccer, at least 10 months out of the year, every year. Being recruited to the college level was a blessing conferred upon me by way of my effort and activity in the game during high school. I strove to play at a high level and continuously improve. Thus, when I was sent away from Mount Olive to go home in March because of coronavirus, I began to lose out on organized soccer and one of the few constants in my daily life and ever-changing schedule. The result was a dormant, almost hibernating feeling, especially for the first 2 months of quarantine. And like other athletes at the D2 level, I plan on playing at an even higher level following my career here, meaning I have to continue to improve. A main goal of mine is to break into a professional team level in a country like Korea or even Australia. Thus, taking half a year away from the organized game isn't ideal for me, as you may have guessed. But that said, I'm happy to be back here and playing again with my team. A lack of the game of soccer is beyond some jockish need to run around all day or sweat, despite athletic stereotypes you may have heard. The fitness achieved by a footballer after a month of consistent physical training is wonderfully impressive, especially in my own experience. There appeared in my everyday, during summer at least, a vacuum in which I would have been lifting weights with teammates or running. And additionally, the dietary benefits of being in any season in the sport are great. In order to remain fit and become fitter and become sharper, the fuel we use has to be quality. We have to feed ourselves and not indulge unhealthily. A focus on protein intake, whole grains, and natural sugars holds the basis of my diet while playing at UMO. But without the pressure of having to keep in shape, my diet waned a bit during the months away from school. This was simply a matter of willpower, and no one is to blame but myself, but the absence of the game made it no easier for me. Another facet of soccer's absence was the connections one has with teammates. Camaraderie runs deep in football, and chemistry is key to playing the game and enjoying it, so I definitely miss my teammates over summer, and the 6 months that we were away in total. But now that we're back, I gave warm, long-awaited greetings to my brothers and felt extreme joy. We'd gone through struggles together before, and COVID-19 was just the next for us to overcome. The COVID months, as I like to call them, felt like I wasn't a college athlete most weeks. A short run accompanied my weekends a lot of the time, but beyond that, I hardly felt like I was part of a team, which brought feelings of sadness and frustration that have receded now that we've returned to UMO. We officially began training last week, and I've already began to regain the tempo of playing the game, and the rust is knocking off. And the rust has had the chance to accumulate heavily beginning in March. In the nature of celebrating our return to campus, I wish to share a vision with you of the coming months. Myself and my team will develop skill-wise and will become more fit than we ever have, as a new coach is on campus for us and he holds a higher standard of health. This is great because it'll push the level of every player on our squad and not just a select few. Additionally, I'm happy to stay on campus for as long as possible. Why leave if we can be responsible and keep the amount of infection cases low? All we have to do as athletes, students, and campus residents is follow new policies. By 2021, I wish to be celebrating a new year at a new level of fitness and being a better player than I've ever been. But for now, I'm excited just to be here. It wasn't until statewide shutdown happened that I realized how often I took my favorite sport and activity for granted in my daily life. My heart only grew fonder for soccer, especially over these 6 months away from the organized game. And I think we do this as a society more often than we understand. Understanding of such a phenomenon doesn't come often enough to me. And I think this is born of our privileges as well. But it can be countered as well. And I think all we have to do is celebrate every day our abilities to pursue our passions and enjoy the things that we don't always feel thankful for.